Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you what I think are the top 5 beginner investor mistakes that I believe most of us are guilty of making them. Now, I'm not a professional trading guru or whatsoever. I'm still a beginner, which allows me to understand what are the thought process of a beginner. So follow me if you want to save some money, and I will share with you what are the mistakes that I've made throughout my past 1 year investing journey. Okay, without further ado, let's jump right into today's content. The first mistake that most of the beginners make is not having a strategy. I know it sounds really cliche, but not having a strategy while investing is like dumping your money into a well and hoping to get a return out of it. Seriously, what are you hoping for?
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
If you're trying all sorts of strategies and just hopping from one to another without spending enough time and effort to observe the market and to test out the strategies, then more often the time you are going to end up having more losing position than picking out the right stocks. Say one day you learn of dividend investing and you started investing into stocks with high dividend yield, and for whatsoever reason the returns are subliminal or just subpar, and then you got tired and then you just switch on to different strategies. You tried dollar cost averaging, you tried day trading, and you just simply going into positions that people are recommending you. So my advice to you right here right now is to understand your risk appetite first. Try to do more paper trades, or maybe just do investing on your Excel spreadsheets. Read more, learn more, and understand what are the things that you like and you don't like. And when you are ready, then it's time for you to begin your investing journey.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Well, of course, don't get me wrong. Diversification for your portfolio is always a good thing. If you want to have a small portion of your portfolio investing in growth stocks, in dividend stocks, then by all means go ahead. My advice is for beginners that do not know what they want yet, so it's okay to start from baby steps. Moving on to number 2, which is being overconfident. This is actually a real world problem when people start getting greedy when they just gain a little profit from here and there. I know it's in our human nature, we all want to get better. And you have tasted victory, it is normal for you to ride on the wave and just pumping in more and more and more and more. But remember, what goes up must come down, unless you're Tesla. This is actually a beginner mistake that I've made myself personally. Last year I was watching this particular stock going up and down in a very repetitive cycle. It goes up to point A and go down point B, goes up again to point A and goes down again to point B. So I thought point B is like the lowest point because I've been watching this stock for quite a few months already. So as a beginner myself, I just invested at that dip at point B, and guess what? Point B became point C, and it just started getting lower and lower and lower and lower. So that is just one example that I have been through myself personally. And if you are lucky enough to be on the other side of the spectrum and you just get on winning and getting higher and higher profit, do not be overconfident and just pumping in more to your winning positions. I believe I've said this 1,000 times already. Investing and trading are two different animals. So be clear of what you want and what is your risk appetite. And mistake number 3 is fear of missing out, or we call it FOMO. This is one of the most common mistakes that every investor have made, or at least felt it in some form. And I myself is not excluded as well. Let's take glove stocks in Malaysia for example. Top Glove, Supermax Corp, they are now trading way above their intrinsic value. And if you don't know already, people are actually crazy about all the glove stocks due to the looming COVID-19 situation. I've previously made an Instagram post showcasing the analyzed gain of the glove stocks in Malaysia. And let's take Supermax for example. They have an analyzed gain of 1,106%. Let's just think for a moment. What it means is if you have invested 1,000 ringgit into Supermax 1 year before today, you would probably end up with 11,000 ringgit right now. Crazy, right? And the rally of Supermax has not ended yet. And as a human being, we all want a piece of that pie. We all want a piece of that uptrend and maybe just a little bit profit out of it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the best example of fear of missing out. It is very normal for us to want to chase the uptrend and just jump right into that trap. Remember, one huge mistake is enough to eclipse your year and year of income or even profit. So think twice before trading these stocks. Now, just to clarify, I have nothing against glove stocks. If you know what you're doing, by all means, go ahead. And if you don't, my advice to you is to just step back, think for a moment, and review your strategy. Mistake number 4 is being too emotional. Now, I know when you have a drop in your share price, those are your hard-earned money that you have invested in. But it is crucial for any investor to be able to accept occasional losses, because gaining and also losing are all part of the journey. You need to understand that no stocks, even great blue chip companies, are immune to negative impacts. If there is a change of business model, if there are any changes in the leaderships, or if there are any disruptive companies coming into the industry, then those losses are really inevitable. One way for you to stay on track is to be informed of every single news revolving around the companies that you have invested in. And there are also a lot of news apps that you can download and get yourself up to date. One of the apps that I always use is the Edge Markets, which tracks the financial and business news in Malaysia. There's also another method that we call dollar cost averaging, where you remove the element of emotion when it comes to periodic investing. But I will save it to talk about it in the future video. Mistake number 5 is paying for any form of investment advice. As bad as betting on a bad stock, paying for any form of investment advice or courses from a financial guru just doesn't make any sense to me. Think about it. If the financial gurus can predict the market movement or can even speculate and predict share prices, why would they want to spend the effort, their time to dress up nicely, to make all the videos and to make all the courses? Seriously, there's so many free information out there from websites, or just consider enrolling yourself into the University of YouTube. I've pretty much learned all my knowledge from Investopedia as well as YouTube, because there are lots of great information made by great content creators. There's so many kinds of investors and traders from all sorts of sectors. You have property investors, you have growth investors, you have dividend investors, and just all sorts of investors are out there, and they are all ready to share with you their experience and also knowledge. So there shouldn't be any excuses that you do not know how to invest just because you are not in the financial sector. And if you have access to Spotify, you can also listen to free podcasts, and there are actually a ton of investing podcasts that you can indulge yourself in.
This is episode 1 of The Investors Podcast.
And if you have extra bucks to spare, which I think you should when it comes to knowledge, then consider getting yourself an investing book. And for you to begin with, you can try The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. This is one of the best books when it comes to value investing, and Benjamin Graham is actually the professor of Warren Buffett. So take it as the Sifu of the Sifu. And by the time you have finished reading the book, trust me, you will gain so much more knowledge and your mindset will be even stronger and richer. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the real definition of getting rich. And when that happens, no one, I repeat, no one can ever take that away from you. And that's all for today's video. Allow me to summarize the top 5 beginner investor mistakes that one can make. 1. Not having a strategy. 2. Being overconfident. 3. Fear of missing out. 4. Being too emotional. And lastly, paying for investment advice. Remember, growing your wealth is not an overnight process. It takes time. Take it like a marathon and not a race. And trust me, you'll be there someday. Alright, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. help me smash the subscribe button down below if you have enjoyed this video. Stay awesome, stay invested, and if you have not read it already, don't forget to be awesome. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.